Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down the core ideas from the 7 spiritual laws of success. Now, this is a framework that pretty much flips the script on what we think success is. It suggests that it's not about grinding and struggling, but about something much more natural, aligning with the universe itself. So let's just kick things off with a big question. We're all taught that to succeed, you have to hustle, work harder, and constantly chase the next thing, right? But what if that's all wrong? What if true success, the kind that really feels good, isn't about chasing it all, but about allowing?
And that very idea brings us to our first major point. We have to completely redefine what success even is. This is all about learning how to shift from a world of constant struggle and resistance to one of effortless, natural flow.
At the very heart of this whole thing is this powerful quote. It's basically saying that success isn't something out there that you need to go get. Nope. It says success starts by understanding who you really are at your core, a field of pure potential, the same source that creates everything in the entire universe. Okay, so let's dive into the absolute foundation of all of this, the law of pure potentiality. You can think of this as the bedrock for all the other laws. It's about getting to know your true self, way beyond the job title, the bank account, or the person you think you are. So, what this law says is that deep down, you are not your labels. Your essential nature is pure consciousness. And what is that? Well, it's a field of infinite possibilities, of limitless creativity. The key takeaway here is that when you connect with that part of yourself, you're tapping into the exact same power that creates stars and galaxies. And this slide, this is huge. It shows the two different ways we can operate. On one side, you have object referral. That's when we live from our ego. Everything is fear based, we're always looking for approval, and any power we have is temporary. It's tied to our job or our money. But then there's self referral. This is when you operate from your spirit. You're not afraid, you're immune to criticism, and you tap into a real, permanent power that comes from within. Okay, so this sounds great, but how do you actually do it? How do you make that shift? Well, the book gives us 4 really practical tools. 2 are about quieting your inner world, a daily practice of silence to stop the mental chatter, and meditation to really experience that inner stillness. And the other 2 are about how you interact with the outside world, practicing non judgment to stop labeling everything, and just spending time in nature to sync up with the universe's harmony. So once you start connecting with your inner self, it completely changes how you operate in the world. Your actions start to align with the natural rhythms of the universe, which means you can achieve a whole lot more with a whole lot less effort. The first step is understanding the law of giving. The universe is all about flow, a constant dynamic exchange. Think of abundance, whether it's money, love, or knowledge, like a river. If you try to hoard it, you're essentially building a dam, and everything just stagnates. You have to keep it circulating. And here's the real kicker, it's not just about the act of giving. The intention behind it is everything. When you give something with the genuine goal of creating happiness for yourself and for the other person, the energy of that gift just multiplies. It creates a ripple effect of abundance. This idea of flow leads us right into the law of karma. You've probably heard of it. What you sow is what you reap. It's the simple but incredibly profound idea that every single choice you make sends out an energy that will eventually come back to you. We are literally creating our own future with every decision. Now, the problem is most of our choices are just unconscious habits, right? We just react. To break that pattern, you can use this simple tool. Before you make a choice, just pause and ask yourself these 2 questions you see on the screen. When a choice feels right for you and for others, that's what the book calls spontaneous right action. It's just naturally the correct thing to do. And that brings us to the law of least effort. Now, this isn't about being lazy, not at all. It's about being smart and working with nature, not against it. It's got 3 parts. First, acceptance. Stop wasting energy fighting reality. Second, responsibility. Stop blaming others and see every problem as an opportunity. And third, defenselessness. Stop wasting all that energy defending your ego. When you do these 3 things, you free up a ton of energy for creating what you actually want. All right, so if we're not supposed to be struggling and forcing things, then how in the world do we create what we want in life? That question brings us to a really beautiful paradox that we're going to unpack now. It all starts with the law of intention and desire. Think of it like this: your attention is like a beam of light. Whatever you shine it on gets energized. But it's your intention that shapes that energy into a result. The big idea here is that when you plant a clear intention in that field of pure potentiality, it literally has the power to organize its own fulfillment. But that leads to a huge question, a real catch 22. How can you want something really, really badly, but not get so attached to it that you start forcing it and struggling for it? The exact things we're trying to avoid. And the secret, the answer, is the law of detachment. This might be the trickiest one, but it's also one of the most powerful. It's a delicate dance. You hold your intention very clearly in your mind, but you completely let go of your attachment to how it happens or when it happens. You trust the universe to handle the details. See, by letting go of a specific outcome, you learn to be comfortable with uncertainty. And that's not a scary thing. It's the space where all creativity happens. When you aren't stuck on one single path, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities, and the universe can deliver your desire in ways you could have never even imagined. So, where does this whole journey of aligning with these laws actually lead? Well, it all comes together in this final section: discovering and living your unique purpose, or what this philosophy calls your dharma. The law of dharma says that every single person on this planet has a unique purpose. Fulfilling it is a three-step process. First, you have to do the work we've already talked about: discover your true spiritual self. Then, from that place, you can clearly see what your unique talents are. And the final, most important step is to use those unique talents to serve others. So, how do you even start to find out what those talents are? A fantastic place to begin is by asking yourself this very question. Just sit with it. The answer usually points directly to your true passions, the things you love doing so much that you lose all track of time. Then, you take that passion that you just uncovered and you match it up with the answer to this second question. The real magic, the sweet spot, is where those two answers meet. When your unique talent fills a real need in the world, that's when you generate true abundance and fulfillment that lasts. So when you put it all together, you realize these 7 laws are really a roadmap. They're a guide for the journey from the ego's fear-based chase for stuff to the spirit's joyful expression of its purpose. Real success just becomes a natural side effect of living your truth and helping others. So we'll just leave you with this final thought to really chew on. Because according to this wisdom, you have a gift that is completely unique to you. And maybe, just maybe, asking yourself this question and truly listening for the answer is the first step toward a kind of success you never thought was possible.